Okay. Peace, everybody. Welcome to Show Improve. I'm Akiel Karad, know what I'm talking about. And we are back again on another adventure and another journey, know what I'm talking about. As you can see, I ain't really here. but I'm still in the space, you know what I'm talking about? So we are continuing with Code Science Part 2. So we just gonna get into it because as I told you, um we with just one part, you could just one section, you could go on for days with it. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah. Now, there are 9 major areas of activity, right? There's economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, war, and counter war. Okay? So these are all the areas of activity that are affected through racism. The 9 major activities affected through racism, white supremacy, and we sort of touched on it last strong, but we're going to be touching on all these major activities look throughout this series, so don't worry about it. Now, there are 4 basic motivating factors in people. There's racism, white supremacy, reaction to racism, sexual expression, reaction to sexual expression. Okay. Now, racism in the form of white supremacy is the greater motivating force for people that exist among the people of the known universe. Every person in the known universe is either practicing white supremacy or he or she is compelled at all times to react to those who are practicing it. Both the practice of white supremacy and the reaction to it affects all people in all areas of activity, including economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, X, and war, counter war, right? So also you can also use this with the sexual expression. You know, it's sort of verbatim, just change the words out pretty much. Um, that's why I didn't put the same slide. Also, I didn't want to didn't want to have to worry about YouTube issues. But if you just follow this template, you will see that people are doing this these 4 reactions like every time. Either they are engaging in racism or they're reacting to it. Same thing with sexual expression. Either you're engaging in it or you are reacting to it. You know what I'm talking about? In some shape, form, or fashion. You know. When it comes to racism, an example is you're reacting to it through the news. You know. Somebody has been unlawfully murdered or something, and instantly you're reacting to what? Racism, white supremacy. Because it's somebody that don't look like you doing it. That's one example. 2, you're forced to react to or engage in gender pronouns. That's part of sexual expression. Or just gender. So many dang on words. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. That's either an engagement, or a reaction. you know. but like this part says, this affects all the nine major areas of activity. Okay, so yeah, man. Now, there are three basic goals sought by most people: to survive by any means necessary, to dominate others through deceit and or direct violence, including the threat of direct violence, and to establish peace. Right? Okay. Now, most people in the known universe have no major goal greater than to survive by any means necessary. Most of the smartest and most powerful people in the known universe have no major goal greater than dominating and abusing others using deceit, uh, direct violence, and or the threat of violence. And few people have no major goal greater than the establishment of peace. So, you have people that you know that do what they do for the natural willingness to survive. You have people that would do things because they want to dominate others, whether it's through deceit, violence, or threat of violence. I mean, you can look throughout history, you know what I'm talking about, especially with that one. Because there's always somebody or some empire or some entity always their goal is to dominate and abuse others by using deceit, direct violence, and or the threat of violence. The threat of war, you know, or the threat of espionage, and spies and intelligence. That's deceit. It reminds me of that part in the party when he says, we when he's in the states, state police in Massachusetts, and Martin Sheen is like, yo, man, tell Leonardo DiCaprio, we practice in deception, but not self deception. That's deceit. You know what I'm talking about? And then but like he said, you have few people um that they're no major goal, who believe that they have no major goal greater than the establishment of peace. But sometimes you hear peace used as deception, you know, um, as that the main goal, but it's under the threat of abusing or using the violence, direct violence, or the threat of violence. You know, you just have to look at the government system of the dominant society, and they'll always say that they're doing this for the sake of peace around the world, or something like that, but they're using what? Direct violence or the threat of violence for that peace. you know and by peace, as we get on later on in the slides, you'll see what we mean by peace, or what Neely Fuller is talking about, or how he defines peace. So yeah. Now, two basic problems among the people. And there is a lack of knowledge and understanding of the reason for one's existence, problem solving, and or for one's non-existence, compounded by and promoted by, number two, the practice of racism and white supremacy. So as we was in last strong, I put up the Bible verse of Hosea 4:6, right? People are destroyed through lack of knowledge. Is I already told you that's one of the two basic problems among people, among the people. You know what I'm talking about? Their lack of knowledge and understanding, but also their lack of knowledge and understanding of the reason for one's existence. You know, that's sort of where you get into why am I here? Things. What is my purpose? And how can I solve the problem of finding out my purpose and acting on that purpose? Things like that. You know, but then you have to find all of that out. Why others are either practicing or why you're reacting to racism, white supremacy, which can be a catalyst for confusing you if you do not understand what it is. You know what I'm talking about? So it's it's already a sort of an issue. You know what I'm saying? If you're, I put in an example of you're trying to enjoy nature and you're trying to enjoy the silence of um, where you live, but all the while, what you have sirens going off, some type of noise. It's not serene, but you're trying to, you know, um, observe nature, but you can't because of the uh, man-made uh, dystopia around you. You know what I'm talking about? Something like that. So yeah. Now, every problem among the people of the known universe can be traced to a lack of knowledge and understanding of the logical reason for one's existence and or non-existence, compounded and promoted by the practice of racism in the form of white supremacy. This is true in all areas of activity. So that's pretty much self-explanatory. Because Neely Fuller Jr. just explains it so well to where you can really understand it. You don't have to second guess with him about what he's saying. He he it's like cheap. He picks words very well so you can understand it in multiple ways. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah. Now, there are three basic requirements in the establishment of peace: truth, or the revelation of truth, plus justice and correctness. Okay? Truth, justice, and correctness. Okay. Now, truth is that which is, justice is balance between people, guaranteeing that no person is mistreated and guaranteeing that the person who needs help the most gets the most constructive help. Correctness is balance between people and all things, animals, plants, minerals, etc. Other than people. Correctness is whatever produces constructive results. So as you can see, truth is that which is. So you can't have, based on this, you can't have, people who say my truth. You can't place ownership on something that just is, because it's going to be there whether you're there or not, because it is. you know it's it's like when I will watch the documentary history of God, and the East Orthodox priest broke down God like this: who is God is, he is the isness of is. It's the same thing in a sense. The truth is gonna be the truth, independent of you or anything else. It's just is. And then you have justice. And Neely Fuller, will say this many times when he talks about justice. You know, it's guaranteeing that no person is mistreated and guaranteeing that the person who needs help the most gets the most constructive help. That's how he basically defines justice, or the balance between people. It's helping those who need the most help, and they get the most constructive help. Now you have to ask yourself, does your society or culture or community, homestead, family, trickle down, does it give the most constructive help to the person or persons that need the help most? Does it provide justice that way? Or does it guarantee that no person is mistreated? But I say, well, under the system of racism, white supremacy, that would be false, or deceit. That everything, that would be deceptive in a sense. Under the system of racism, white supremacy, it can guarantee balance between people. That's why you have to replace it with a system of justice. You know what I'm talking about? And then you have correctness, which is balance between people and all things. Animals, plants, minerals. Now you can now we already know that there is really not a balance between all things and people. Under the system of racism and white supremacy. You know what I'm talking about? It just sort of guarantees the correctness or balance or deceit of balance among people. But correctness is whatever produces constructive results. And as last strong, you have to basically measure whether what you do or the actions that you apply, whether it was constructive or non-constructive. And that's correctness. You know what I'm talking about? And some people, are afraid of being corrected, or, don't want to be corrected, but that correctness should produce constructive results. Even if you're criticizing them or judging them, it should produce constructive results. So yeah, man. Now, peace is the result of the revelation of truth and the use of truth in the manner that produces justice and correctness. When all people seek and or act to use truth in a manner that produces justice and correctness at all times, in all places, in all areas of activity, peace is the result. So, cosigns, right? For me, I thought of sort of like a formula, but like truth plus justice plus correctness equals peace. If you can't, that's how I thought about it. T plus J plus C equals P. I wish I could come up with a, with a real like scientific formula, or, truth times justice times correctness equals peace. But if you have those three things, it should equals peace. So basically, if you have justice, have truth, you using all these things, you're applying truth, justice, and correctness, it should bring peace as the result. That's the end result. You know what I'm talking about? I sort of, sort of, like I say, sort of self-explanatory. If you have these strings, this is the end result. Whereas the deceit lies in, in the non-constructive results, by said dominant society will equal peace. Killing will equal peace. War will equal peace. Um, it could, education equals peace. But it has to be what in all 9 areas of activity, 9 in 1, or 9 in none. Has to be in all of them to equal peace. You know what I'm saying? All areas of activity in order to have peace as the end result. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, man. Like I say, short videos, but look, I will return. You know what I'm talking about? So join us next strong when we will actually get in, because I'll be back. I'll be back. So once I come back, we will start with the areas of activity and we'll get more into it. This is just primer. I wanted to, not go too in depth. And I knew that, the areas of activity take a long time, So I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of primer, till I return, whatnot. And I will, most definitely, we will go at this, go on this journey together, when you're not being what I would say my representative. You know what I'm talking about? Because because I'm not here. This is just a shell. This is AI. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, So give thanks for everybody showing out. Remember, we have our new fellowship tomorrow, midday affirmation, our new blog. We also have Chief Yuya podcast, because this is gonna be in the future. I don't know what's the next title gonna be, but I know it's gonna be good. I don't know what the next book gonna be or the next movie, so I can't really give it to you, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I already know it's gonna be good. I know the movie's gonna be good. And the books, look, I already am putting them on my wish list so I can get them, especially at least when I'm making this. I want to get the one about psychopath saints and what's the other one? But that one, it's a pretty long title. But yeah, by Kevin Dutton. Yeah, by Kevin Dutton. So yeah, man, give thanks everybody, and I will see. Red Rap, Raleigh, North Carolina. Talking about. Our new retreat, August 2023. And if I'm missing anything, I'm sure one of the lovely sisters will, probably put in the chat just in case, you know what I'm saying? But give thanks to everybody, and I will see y'all next strong, and I'll be back. So